Hi, this video is about the top 3 productivity hacks that I have, generally how to be more productive. I've got this nice picture here of what people think of it's like to be more productive, but I'm going to show you why there's something really wrong with this. In this video, I'm going to give you some productivity changes you can do right now that can exponentially improve your ability to get things done, just like this guy's exponentially improving his ability to shoot things. I'm also going to talk about the biggest mistake that I see almost everyone make, and a lot of people kind of know this, but they don't know it really well, and they don't really apply it, and they miss opportunities to apply it. Who am I? My name's David Hood, and I've got ADHD, and I work for myself, so I really have to remain focused, and I have to remain organized in order to get things done. So I've had to really figure this out over several years, and I think I've gotten really good at figuring out how to be really productive and how to get the most done for myself and my business. And it has worked because I've made well over $1 million online, and I'm on a mission to help at least 10,000 people make their first $1 million online. So first, you want to use OneNote as an example. I think OneNote's the best one for a thorough system to document everything, all your ideas, all your to-dos, all your projects, all your brainstorming, all your notes in one place. Capture everything in one place. That's why I like OneNote. You probably already have it on your computer, and it's free as opposed to a lot of other tools out there. But really, it doesn't have to be OneNote. Any system is better than no system. Evernote is also good. A lot of people like Evernote. I have reason and very good reasons to say that OneNote is better than Evernote in general, but again, Evernote is still really good compared to a lot of systems. And if you're already using Evernote and you don't like OneNote for whatever reason, or you hate Microsoft or whatever, Evernote is still really good. Again, it's better to have any system than no system at all. And there's this concept that I've never heard anybody else talk about it, but it seems pretty natural to me. It's called process documentation. So this is especially important for me as I work for myself, but I think that businesses, especially bigger businesses, do this as well. I don't think they really call it this, and they don't really focus on it to the degree that I think it should be focused on. And it involves basically, documenting all the steps that it takes to do certain things, and then constantly updating it. And so this is like having a template is a form of process documentation. And then but the template probably evolves regularly. That's what makes OneNote really great. I have a lot of templates in there that I've created, but they're constantly changing, which is also great because I'm just copying and pasting it. Another thing that's really important that a lot of people don't think about is if you don't have a system to capture everything, and it doesn't have to be this complicated. This picture is way more complicated than it needs to be. Let's say you have a good idea and you just do nothing with it, or you just okay, I'm going to remember that. That you're not really rewarding your brain for giving you the idea, and that flow will be diminished or cut off. And think of your brain as sort of like its own entity, and when you reward it and you give it the positive feedback when it gives you ideas, even if the ideas are bad, but it gives you ideas and thoughts and things you need to remember by recording it and capturing it properly. It looks like I don't know how to spell. And then it gives you more, right? And so that's really important. So here's an example of capturing. Is really simple. I have email on my phone, and this isn't always how I capture, but I will, if I get an idea, I'll send myself a quick email, and then later on I will put it into OneNote. When I'm clearing my inbox or going through my email, I will put it into OneNote. I'm not a big fan of software like Trello or Asana or whatever it's called. Let's see, Asana. And the reason is that they don't really capture everything. And I find them to be somewhat awkward because, part of the checklist that you have to do is also kind of the notes and the organization. I also don't like that it's a web application only. I really like, when I use OneNote, I use it on the desktop, which makes it much more efficient, much faster to go find the things that you want to do. I have a bunch of windows open always. OneNote is always open right now. I've got 4. That's actually on the low end. It's because I restarted my computer recently and usually have somewhere between 5 and 10 OneNote windows open at any one time. And so I can easily go through data. This is actually OneNote that I'm using right now. I love OneNote. I have tens of thousands of pages in there that I can easily, quickly access the information that I want. And not just through search, but it's also sort of the hierarchical level of information. That's why OneNote is better than Evernote. The level of hierarchy that you can organize your information is much greater in OneNote versus Evernote. But it's just, you know, even Evernote blows out Trello and Asana, in my opinion. Now, it's been a while since I've really tried any of these systems like this, so maybe I'm going to give these a try, and I'll let you know how it goes. And maybe these are better than I thought. Again, if you're using no system and then you move to Trello or Asana, that's still better than nothing. Okay, this is something that a lot of people kind of know that they need to do, but what I recommend is you just go ahead. You probably already have Evernote on your system. If you have Microsoft Office, you almost certainly have OneNote. Just go in and start using it. You don't have to pull all your notes in there. You just use it a little bit at a time, and you grow it, okay, so this is a really big one right here. So what you want is you want a top 3, what I would say, you want to pick, actually what you want to pick top 3 actionable goal achieving actions for every day, week, month, quarter, and year. Not necessarily 4, but every, let's just say every day. And so like today, or tomorrow morning, or tonight for tomorrow, you want to pick, you want to write out, okay, these are the 3 things, the 3 either actions or kind of action areas, if you have like several little tasks that work together to kind of complete a set, action sets, I would call it, that are going to move you the closest towards your goals. You know, you want to lay that out every day. And then every week and every month, at the beginning of each week, at the beginning of each month, at the beginning of each quarter, at the beginning of each year, what are the things that are going to move forward? And you have to constantly remind yourself of this. This isn't something that you do once. Well, doing it once is better than doing it not at all. And some people might not even have goals. Well, it's super important to have goals. If you don't know how important goals are, it's, you know, it's sort of like, if you don't have a goal, it's sort of like trying to go somewhere, but you don't know where you're going to go. You're never going to arrive there. You know, when you drive to a city, or fly to a city, or travel to a city, you have a goal. Imagine not having, knowing where you're going, and you just hop on the next random plane. You're not going to really get to where you want to go. So it's super important to have goals, but not only that, but to review the goals regularly. And this is my other 2 tips are about working right, and this is about making sure you're making sure you're doing the right work, Okay, so there's kind of 2 different angles that you want to focus on. Working right and then the right work. Okay, so you can work right on the wrong things and do a lot of stuff, and it doesn't really get you anywhere. Action and activity isn't necessarily productivity. It isn't moving you necessarily in the right direction. And I did mention this. For example, with Google Maps directions, you know, you also don't typically, if you have a, you know, something that's far off in the distance, let's say you're driving from San Francisco to New York City, you don't just like read the directions unless you have like a photograph from memory and then be like, cool, and just throw them away and never look at them again. You put in your phone and you're constantly checking the phone and checking what the next moves are. And so that's a good analogy. And again, this is sort of like, ask yourself the question, what can I do today that moves me the furthest towards my goals? What can I do right now? You know, this is almost like a question that you can ask yourself all the time. I don't necessarily recommend that because I think I like having like the end of today. What I'll do is I'll look at my goals for the week and what I've accomplished so far this week, or what I've worked on so far this week, and I'll make an agenda for tomorrow, and I'll order it by what's most important, and I'll work on what's most important tomorrow, and make sure that I move all, you know, these top 2 or 3 things forward every single day. Okay. So here's my third tip, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make, and it is in this area. So I would say uninstall things like Skype, Facebook from your phone, and any chat programs. I used to use in college. I used AIM and ICQ, if you know what those are. AOL Instant Messengers. Close Facebook, email, chat, etc. At all pretty much at all times, unless you have a specific time set for this. Now, this is something that I've seen other people do, but I think it's not something that people really understand how important this is. So, like, again, a lot of people know you're supposed to focus on one thing at a time. That's why this guy up here, this is wrong. This is really bad. You don't want to be doing 10 things at once. Your brain really can't do 10 things at once. What it's doing is it's working on this thing really quickly, and then it's switching to this thing, and then switching back and forth. And I'm going to talk a little bit more real quick in just a second about why that's bad. But you want to do one thing at a time. And what you get with something like Skype, let's say you leave Skype up. I always have like developers that they always want to go on Skype, and they want to be able to ping me anytime they have a question, and I understand that, which is why I do email instead, and then I check email at regularly scheduled times, is because they steal my focus. I don't want to let someone who works for me steal my focus. Even if it was a boss, I would want to have this conversation that, look, if you really have something urgent, then call me. Maybe you're with your job, you're not able to, kind of draw these lines, but Skype, for example, anytime someone pings you, even for just a second, it steals your focus. Actually, this is a good time for me to do my focus or max power graph. So let's open Paint. And so if we look at, let's draw like a graph here. Okay, so this is going to be productivity going up this way, and this is just going to be like time worked. So we'll do, you can see I'm totally an artist. And we're going to do time here. Okay, let's pick a different color. Okay, so let's say you start working on a task. Okay, and as you start the task, basically your productivity is going to be really low to start for most tasks. But as you get deeper into a task, your ability to get more done and to do more things is going to go up. It's going to increase, and maybe there's a plateau or sort of something like this. But let's say now somebody pings you on Skype, right? They ping you. And even if you only take your attention away for 5 seconds, your brain essentially empties, and maybe you don't go all the way down, but you go down to a substantial degree, and so you have to work your way back up. Okay, and so essentially this time, let's do this time right here. Well, this whole area right here is lost productivity, and this could be quite substantial. You do your best work, typically, it depends kind of on your business. It's my business is very true, because there's a lot of deep work where you really have to think. It's not so much about doing more things as it is doing things better. You really need to be able to stay in the zone. So this would be where you'd get do really good work, really high quality work. And so staying focused is super, super important. And even checking a text message is something that you don't want to do. I do not have Facebook on my phone. I can't even log in. I don't even have the username and password saved on my phone. And this is because I don't want to check Facebook on there. Definitely uninstall Skype from your phone. Install all chat programs from your phone if you're able to, okay? And I understand that this could affect some social things, but you just tell people, look, I'm trying to be more productive. I'm trying to get more things done. Please, we can talk in this way, which is why I prefer email, because then I get to control when this happens. So, I'm working here, and then maybe now is when I want to stop. And so I can check my email then. I'm not perfect about this. You don't have to be perfect, but just try to draw these lines really well. Be ruthless, okay? You're trying to make this is essentially like giving you more time in your life by getting more things done. Or if you're working for someone, it's enabling you to do more for the company and hopefully eventually get paid for it. I prefer not to work for companies, and because a lot of times you can do awesome stuff and not get rewarded. And I have a link below that talks about how to essentially fire your boss permanently and never need one again. Another thing is to track your time very specifically. Like, I started working on this task or this task set at 9:37 a.m. Okay, and I finished at 10:12 a.m. And then really track that, and that helps you focus on one thing at a time, and it also just makes you accountable for a lot of times I do this. And so, when I'm coming close to the end of a week, I'll look at the time, and if there's a priority that, oh wait, I've worked a lot on this priority, but I haven't worked as much on this, then I know to kind of add that to my agenda and make sure I give that the time that I feel like it should have. It's not all about time, it's more about getting things done, but sometimes time still is important. If you haven't worked enough on something, you need to. Again, this is refuse to let others steal your time. Steal your time or attention when they want to, not when you want to. Sometimes you want to, right? And then that's up to you. So, and this involves like checking your inbox, email, messages at scheduled times, right? When you want to. Okay, so that's something that I've alluded to already. Okay, so hopefully this video was really helpful to you. If you liked it, please give me a like or a thumbs up. If you want more stuff like this, please subscribe. And I appreciate your time. If you have any questions or you have a specific hack that you really like that really helps you get more done, please put it in the comments, and I do respond to all the comments. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye.